All right. Welcome to our Wednesday evening trading Zoom. Guys, tonight, this is a demo only session. Nobody's going to be trading their live account. Nobody's going to be trading real money. This is all about demonstrating the dynamic edge strategy. But before we do that, and we do have some pretty great opportunities here. You probably you can see my chart here. You can see we've definitely got some action in the market tonight. And it's actually looking pretty good for perhaps once it has corrected and dropped down here and rejected off of one of these lines, that we may actually have some more upward movement for the NASDAQ. And that is one of our favorite assets to trade because it moves and it throws a lot of pips and it makes us a lot of money. But before we get into all of that, Milena here saying, I just wanted to say I love the Wednesday evening trading calls. I always walk away learning something new in relation to DE. That's awesome. Thank you, Milena. I really appreciate encouragement. Thank you so much for encouraging us. That's great. Good to have you here. So before we jump into this, I wanted to actually show you guys, for those of you who are new on the call, I wanted to give you a very, very brief demonstration of really why we're here. Like, what is this all about anyway? Why is this guy here on Zoom? What's he really doing? So IM Mastery Academy was my starting point into this amazing, exciting world of trading, into the world where I can actually take a very small amount of money, set it to work for me, and actually have it turn into something that's pretty life-changing. So, before just a little over 2 years ago, I was working a job that was taking all my time away. I actually was a small business owner, and we're actually going to have a small business owner on shortly here this evening, and he's actually going to share a little bit of his journey, but and actually in a similar industry as well. We had an appliance repair business, and it was taking all of my time away from my family. About 2 years ago, I really hit the wall. I really got pretty upset about it because I realized that I was losing my kids. My kids didn't want to hang out with me anymore because dad was just kind of not around, just busy all the time. When I was home, I was tired. So, I'm a praying man. I went to God. I said, God, you've got to help me. This isn't right. And I heard that still small voice actually say, yeah, you're right, Steve, it's not. And keep your eyes open. And it was a few days later, my good friend Dan Keith, he's not on the call tonight with us, but we traded together every morning. He actually showed me the academy. So he was just getting started in it himself when he showed me, and I'm really glad he did actually show me, even though he really didn't even know what he was doing yet, because we got to learn together, and it was a lot of fun, and it's been really life-changing for us. Both Dan and myself now, we've actually exited our employment, and we're moving on to bigger and better things. So, including Chris Leyland, he'll be talking and showing us a little bit of the sauce a little bit later on this evening. But guys, just for those brand new on the call, I'm going to quickly run through a few slides, kind of let you guys know really what this is all about. So IM Mastery Academy was started by a gentleman named Christopher Terry. Christopher Terry was somebody who came from very little and not a whole lot financially. And he went on to be a millionaire because someone came along and they saw some potential in him, and decided to teach him to trade. So Chris started this, from his, you could say, ivory tower of wealth, thinking, something, I really, not everybody's going to get the opportunity I had. I have got to find a way to bring what I have now to the masses. So IM Mastery Academy is about bringing Wall Street to Main Street, taking that skill, which was supposed to be for not intellectual, but financial elites, and bringing it to a point where regular people like you and me, if I was born with a screwdriver in my hand, right? I just loved fixing stuff. And that's all I ever knew, was a job that turned my time into money. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's great, but it's getting tougher and tougher to earn an income these days. It's really, really getting hard. And so that's what this is about. So if you don't see anything else in this slide, I want to just draw your attention to these numbers down here at the bottom left. 95% of the population has 5% of the wealth, and 5% has 95% of the wealth. So imagine 95 squirrels fighting over 5 nuts. Okay, you got the image in your mind? That's kind of what the world is like, isn't it? And then there's the 5 squirrels here who they've got 95 nuts and no one's fighting. Okay, So what we're here about tonight, guys, is to demonstrate to you a way to bring you into that 5%. Now, here at the Academy, we actually have two different, multiple streams of income. We're about multiple streams, but we're going to be talking about the 1% opportunity tonight, and that is trading, and specifically one of the many trading strategies that we have here under this roof, so to speak, and that is Dynamic Edge. So the largest financial market in the world, the Forex market, 8 trillion a day versus the stock market, which trades in the billions. We're actually going to be trading in this market tonight. I love it. This is a little look at actually what it looks like. This is where you're going to learn. This is kind of like the lobby of the Academy. This is where you're going to get access to everything. This is very familiar to me. I've spent a lot of time in here, and I'm really grateful for it. The 100 series, guys, starts you out at absolute baby steps. And that's where I had to start. There's probably some people on this call that have been around the trading space for a while. And if you've been around the trading space for a while, you don't need the 100 series. That's fine. But it is here for those who maybe are on this call, and maybe you were looking at my chart a moment ago, if you were on early, and you're thinking, this looks like Greek. I could never learn that. You know something? You can. Because if I could learn it, you can too. I was born and diagnosed with ADHD. I have to work 4 times harder than your average person to learn anything. And the 100 series was so well laid out. It really got me up and moving. I didn't know what a pip was. I didn't even understand how to read a candle on a financial chart. I didn't even know what the candle meant and what the spiky things on the top and bottom was. So it's all there. Please do not feel, I really hope you don't feel kind of like it's above you, because it's not. It really isn't. Digital currency, Bitcoin, all of that. We have all of that covered here as well. We actually have a whole separate academy within the IM Academy to cover cryptos. And that's something not to sleep on, because the world is moving to a system that's built on crypto. So those of us who understand a little bit of it today can do really well tomorrow, and actually today as well. I've really done well with it. I've really enjoyed it a lot over the last couple of years. ECX, e-commerce. There's a lot going on here, guys. A lot of opportunities for multiple streams of income. If you're curious about that, reach out to the person who got you on the call and look into that. I mean, of course, I think online spending has gone up over the last 2 years, probably more than any other time in history, right? So go live sessions. Now, the go live sessions are absolutely probably the reason why we have such a high success rate here at the Academy. These go live sessions actually connect you with your educator, and the educator, it's like going to class. It's really amazing. We talk with our educator, James Leone, and he answers everybody who asks questions in the chat during class. It's amazing. Just 2 days ago, I'm one of his more advanced students, and he got on a private Zoom with me, and he answered some of my questions and really helped me out a lot. It's just, wow. Like, where else do you get that? You go to YouTube, you maybe even buy a course from the YouTuber who's putting it up there, and you'll get some great information, but you're not going to get this level of mentorship and consistent, just get coaching, right? So I am really just so grateful for what we have here in house at the Academy. It's just, I mean, it's just incredible. So now mindset is a big one. We have that covered as well. We have an Academy from Mindset. And if there's anyone on this call who has been in the trading space for a while, you know how important that is. You can have a technical skill really nailed down, and if your mindset is not right, good luck trying to apply it to the charts. So that's a big one. That's probably been my biggest struggle. I'd say probably trading for me has been 80% mindset, 20% technical. So, and then tools, we're going to show you one of the tools tonight. It is the Dynamic Edge strategy built on top of the pivot scanner. So that's pretty cool looking. And then we've got some apps where you can push out trade ideas and so on, but we're not going to talk about that too much. So anyway, we are still waiting for my good friend Quinn to jump on the call here. He actually is going to share a little bit of his story. He's been in the Academy for a little bit, and I'm really looking forward to introducing him to you guys. And one of the things that's amazing about really what we're doing here is the community. You can technically, most of us can be successful as traders if you just go sit in the corner all by yourself and study a bunch of charts and study a bunch of material. But personally, for me, and I think probably most anybody else on this call who's part of the community just it makes it fun. And also, when you as a trader, maybe you've had a bad day, maybe you even lost a few trades, and having that community around you where you can talk about it with people is just massive. It's so important. So we're going to introduce one of those community members to you guys in the next little bit, and we'll wait for Quinn to jump on. Quinn, by the way, if you are on under maybe another account and I'm not seeing your name popping up here properly, go ahead and unmute or text me in the chat here. I'm watching the chat, but I don't think Quinn is on the call yet. So maybe Chris, if you can reach out to Quinn, ask him to jump on the call here. I know we're a little bit ahead of schedule. I told him 7:15. So anyhow, so that is, guys, just a little look at really what the Academy is about. I really wanted to go through that just so you guys could have a little bit of context about really what we're doing and why we do it and really what this is. So what you're going to see tonight is a pretty small slice of what we have here in this academy. This trading academy is absolutely huge. I believe it's now over 500,000 students globally now. Where when I jumped into it 2 years ago, I think it was something like 50,000. So it has absolutely exploded. Absolutely. So it looks like we have Quinn on the call now. Hey, my friend, are you all ready to go? You got your mic all set up? Let's just give Quinn a moment to unmute here. And I'm going to go ahead and stop my screen share. There we go. We'll see if we can. I'll give you another minute or two there, Quinn, if you want to go ahead and unmute whenever you're ready, and we'll introduce everybody.
Were you just doing the introduction? I had my volume turned off for a second there, so.
No worries, man. I told you 7:15 and it's 7:13, so you're right on time. Hey, there you are.
Yeah, there we go.
Awesome. So tell me something. Is it raining in Vancouver right now?
It is raining. It was sunny and beautiful this morning, and now the rain is just pouring down.
Oh man. I grew up in Richmond. I was born in Vancouver General and South Vancouver, and then we moved to Richmond, and then I bought a house out in Surrey.
Yeah.
And we sold that about 5 years ago, moved to Kelowna. So
yeah,
we're liking the dry climate here.
Yeah.
But every once in a while we go back and see family. It's a lot of fun. So
yeah, well, I mean, I grew up in the Okanagan and I miss being there. So
oh man, is that so?
Yes.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Well,
kind of a catch-22, eh? You move away from one place and you miss parts of one and aspects of the other, but kind of juggle between the both and have fun. Like all my family's still in the Okanagan, so I go back to visit quite often.
Yeah. Oh, very good. You get to drive that crazy mountain pass.
Yes, I know.
And
it's even more crazy now that the highways have been wiped out. So
yeah. For those of you guys who are not from our area here in BC, we had a crazy, they call it an atmospheric river, and it came in and it wiped out a major artery, massive freeway that connects Vancouver and Kelowna. And it's made life interesting. There was a time when we actually had no access between Kelowna, which is inland, and the coast, which is where all the container ships come in. So guys, I'm really excited to introduce Quinn McLaughlin to you guys. Quinn is an entrepreneur, actually. He runs his own electrical business in Vancouver. He actually has 8 employees. So, he's a man that is very much used to the business world and what it all takes to make it all go around. Quinn, I used to have an appliance repair company. In fact, you might even see some of our trucks in Vancouver. It's called Priority Appliance Service. We sold it. So
what was the name?
Priority Appliance Service.
Priority. Okay.
Yeah. So it was good, but it just sucked up. It was like a big black hole sucking up all my time. But And I understand, Quinn, you've been in crypto in that and kind of in the trading space since like I think 2017, if I recall. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. When did you jump into IM?
I jumped into IM Academy 2 years ago, so that would have been, what are we, 2022 now? So about 2020, maybe the end of 2019, right at the beginning of 2020.
Amazing. That was almost exactly the same time that I started. It was
Yeah.
right around Christmas 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I jumped in, and it's been pretty life changing for me. How about you?
Yeah, it's been absolutely life changing. I mean, if you want me to share a little bit about my story, I was looking at additional ways to make money outside of my electrical business because I knew at some point in time I would want to wind down. And if there's any traditional business owners in the room, they know how much time it takes to run a traditional business. So I'm always been open-minded to creating additional streams of income, and this came across my lap. I got started and started learning in the trading, and it was a little bit slower for me. I mean, I'm still 2 years running, and I'm not a master trader by any means, but I love learning the education. And for me, if it took 5 years for me to learn the trading skill, and then by that point I could retire myself, or at least not have to worry about an income from my electrical business, then it's totally worth it. I Steve was saying that I had a little bit of a past in crypto, and back in 2017, just before I started my electrical business, I was pretty passionate about it, looking at all sorts of projects, buying and holding, doing my own research, and I had to stop because I started my electrical business. And for those of you that don't know, when you start your own business, you kind of feast or famine in the beginning. So if you're not hustling to get the next job, then you're out of a meal. So that was very much what it was like. I had to put crypto on the back burner. But since IM Academy, I've fallen back into it. It's reignited that passion for me. I've been able to get all of my cryptocurrencies locally in one exchange, start to learn how to stake and trade it, and just actually see the markets and see what's going on, and actually understand more of the movements, more of the good entry points, the emotional side, and just plugging into the educators that we have in IM Academy are phenomenal. Nick Gomez and Picasso and Kurt Cobain and Mike Sotero, and their lessons are far beyond any other educator advice. The advice back in 2017 was, oh, hey, have you heard of this coin? I'm like, no, okay, I'll do some research, and you bought it. But nowadays, with IM Academy, you have a lot more resources, and they actually teach you where to go. So that's been a huge thing. And then what Steve and Chris have been doing is Dynamic Edge. And since I've started with that, I've actually really been able to dial in with the trading. I'm pretty emotional when it comes to trading. So I've had to really learn that skill, and Dynamic Edge is a great tool that has all the indicators to get into trades and out of trades on momentum, in the 1 minute and the 3 minute indicators that they use. And it's really simple and straightforward. Sometimes trading can get as complicated as you want it to, or as simple as you want it to. And I find that Steve and Chris do a really good job in the mornings when we trade with them, and so does the main educator, James Leon. He's really good. He's like one of my business coaches, very straight, and he'll tell you how it is, which is what I like. So and just I'll speak to the business side too. Like when I got started, I saw the opportunity in building a passive income to fund my crypto accounts and to fund my trading accounts. So that's exactly what I did. I was able to go pick P600 in the first month that I was in the business, and then P1000 a few months after that. And it's just, all that money is now investment income to me. So I take it, I put it in my crypto portfolios mainly, or do whatever I want with it. But it never sees the space of the Canadian banks anymore. So that's pretty much it, me in the nutshell. Steve, I don't know if you have any other things you want me to touch on, but give you the floor.
No, I can't think of anything now, but you really you brought up. I love you brought up. Your money. You're finding ways to keep your money out of the Canadian banking system.
Yeah.
And not to get too political, but we've seen how that system can be weaponized against people who
Yeah.
maybe don't think have unacceptable views or something, right?
Yeah.
So it is very, very, it's a wonderful freeing thing. And the last year personally, I have lived as much of my financial life as I can in the DeFi space. DeFi stands for decentralized finance. It's a lot of my trading income now comes. I will bring it in cryptocurrency, and then I have an actual crypto funded Visa card.
Yeah.
And we did a trip down to California that last winter, bought all the gas and paid for all the RV sites and stuff like that on my crypto Visa. That was really cool. Like, wow, this is amazing. So anyway, it is absolutely, it really is freedom. And that's why we're so passionate about what we're doing. That's why I can see you're passionate about it too, Quinn. It's just so cool. So
yeah, the thing that gets me out of bed, why I actually share it with people more than the money, is just helping people. Like, got a few members in our team that have done phenomenally well in the trading, way better than I have. And that excites me. That makes me want to actually go out there and share it more. It doesn't matter about the income. The income will come. It's more about just being able to help people, especially right now. Everybody's in a place where inflation's rising and we have to learn other ways to make money, or we're going to not have any money. So, or we're going to get caught in a place where we don't want to be. So yeah, absolutely.
100%, bro. Thank you very much for coming on with us and
Yeah,
sharing your thoughts and your story. I find that, again, I was mentioning earlier on the call how important the community is, because when we're doing something great, it's great. But when you're doing something great with other people, it's amazing. And that's been my experience. So thank you very much, Quinn, for being part of the community. And the more of us that are here, I feel like the more momentum we have. So
absolutely.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'll see you in the morning.
Absolutely. 6 a.m. Pacific, bright and early.
I can't wait anymore. I get up and bright and early. Don't even need an alarm clock anymore.
Trust the analysis, Quinn. Trust the analysis.
Yeah, I trust you more than I trust me sometimes, Chris.
So good.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on the call, you guys.
Man, thanks for coming. Thanks for spending a little time with us. So, Chris, what are you thinking about USDJPY right now?
Oh, you want me to look at a different one? I'm looking at Euro USD, and we missed. It's coming. It's coming down.
Yeah,
and it's just about ready for a sell here.
It is. Okay.
We've had bearish divergence. We've got rejection of a line. It's rejected the pink, which is right on the 50% of our big move down there.
Ooh.
Looks like we're going to have a PSAR flip. As soon as that happens and we see that middle BB starting to curl down a little bit,
here we go.
There's your PSAR flip. Oh man, it's setting up perfectly. So we want to see this come down just a little bit more. We're going to follow the rules tonight. We want to see that price come down below that middle BB. And as soon as that does happen, we are going to take the trade. See, that's why we follow the rules. See how you get that little green candle pop up there?
Yep.
See, we're just going to wait. We're going to wait for that one.
We're paid to wait.
Yep. If you look on the 3-minute on that Euro USD, you can see where we had bearish divergence. We had a perfect rejection off of the middle BB, which is that black line, and which lines up perfectly on the 1 minute with the pink. Well, kind of, sort of lines up with that pink.
Yeah.
And we're downtrending. It's looking good. It is looking really good.
Yeah.
So we just got to be patient. Going to be patient for that one.
Yeah, though I think that is our next opportunity. UJ is still setting up. So we'll
I'm
wait
gonna
for
go
that
over
one.
there. I'll look over there right now.
Okay. So guys, if you've got your phone, your MetaTrader, the app you want is MetaTrader. The invite for this call actually had a short instructional video in it that basically tells you how to set up a demo account on your phone. So what you're going to want to do is go into your MetaTrader and select the currency pair EURUSD, so Euro USD.
Just had the PSAR flip on USD JPY.
Okay.
That would be a good
Oh,
one. Like you
look
said,
at
it's setting
that.
up. It's ready to go.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah. Okay, let's
Let's wait for that signal.
yeah.
Wait another 10 seconds and you'll get that signal.
Yeah, okay.
PSAR's not quite outside, but it's still a 5-point trade.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is looking good. There's the signal. So we're going to go ahead and buy USD JPY. And again, nothing we say here is financial advice. This is demo only. The great thing about this is if the market crosses back below this black line, you exit the trade with a small loss. And you know, it's the losses are so tiny that they almost don't count. So it's the ultimate in risk to reward. So the bands are tight right now, these bands here. So we'll see if this actually takes off on us and if it goes. There it goes a little bit. Okay, so we have that. So signal everyone should have entered by now. So we're just starting to move up into profit now. I'm just going to zoom this a little bit more in case there's some people watching on a phone screen or something. So it's a little bit, it's a little slow to take off here. A little bit of indecision here in the market, but that's okay. We can wait. It hasn't crossed back below the black line, so the trade is still valid. So there's something while we're waiting I want to talk about. It's called risk to reward ratio. And by the way, Chris, please interrupt me if there's an opportunity on another currency pair.
Yeah, Euro USD's it's setting up right now too.
Beautiful.
Yeah, for sell on Euro USD.
So I'm already in profit now on USD JPY. I'm going to set my target for just the top of structure here. This time of day, the markets don't have a lot of juice in them, so to speak. So I'm expecting it to come up to this price level of 128.49. So you can go ahead and set your take profit, 128.49.
Sell the euro. Sell the
euro. Okay, Euro USD. Let's sell it. Sell it. Where is it? Oh, I'm late. There it goes. There it goes, just like we expected. We were waiting for it to cross this line, and it's amazing what happens when it crosses this black line. This black line is a very authoritative line on our charts here. Okay, I'm going to pull this one into Euro USD as well. By the way, this is a 3-minute time frame. Each candle on this side is 3 minutes of time. This is a 1-minute time frame. Each candle's 1 minute of time. There's a little bit more resolution here. So this, those of you guys who entered here because I was overlooking at USD JPY, you would have got a late entry. This is an absolute no-no, and this is why. See this little green candle coming back? If you guys haven't entered yet, this green candle, if it comes back and retests the black line, that would be another opportunity for entry. We have some bearish divergence now though. So this would be what we would call an FOB trade, finger on button. I think the bearish divergence has just caused a rejection here. Let's see if we are able to close this candle below the middle Bollinger, which is the black line, sorry, using all of our terms. See this here? This is called bearish or bullish divergence. And that means that the market is likely to reject and go back up, which is exactly what it's doing. But look at that. It's the middle Bollinger Band, the black line held it down. Isn't this crazy? Isn't this
Hopper
amazing?
and the MACD scalper.
Okay.
And you've got a diamond pattern there too.
Oh yeah, you do. Yep. That's something that James teaches us. I like that. So we'll just let that one go. Let's go back over and see what our USD JPY is doing. Yeah, that looks pretty decent. Hold on.
Yeah, if you were in a buy on that USD JPY, you should have been
Yeah,
out.
yeah. That's what happened. I got stopped out. Yep.
Yep.
I had my stop loss down below, so that one rejected.
But you see what it's doing? It's testing that pink again.
It is.
And there's bullish divergence there again.
Yes, there is.
So, this is what we're seeing over and over again, and we're just playing on either side of that middle Bollinger, and it's telling us, which way we should be going. But we know our tolerance is really tight, and we know that if it starts going the other way, we're already out of it with a very small loss.
Yes. Yeah. So one of the things I did not talk about when we took this buy here was I didn't talk about the stop loss. I said you just manually exit, which you guys are on demos, so it's fine. What we do as well, is certainly if I'm going to click away from the currency pair, what we do is we actually do set a stop loss just below this line. So that's what it did. It hit the stop loss on my demo account here, and I got stopped out with a really tiny loss, like a pip, maybe something like that. Maybe 2 pips, 3 pips, including spread. So no complaints at all. It's just the cost of doing business, right? Like we were talking about that earlier. Entrepreneurs, one of your vehicles for your employees needs a new transmission. Well, okay, it's the cost of doing business. That's how it works. Okay, let's see what else we got going on here, Chris.
Yeah, the euro's still looking bearish.
Good.
But the euro or the UJ, it's in a counter trend trade at the moment.
Yeah.
Middle BB starting to point down.
Mm-hmm.
So it could start to test down to that purple. Could even go a little bit farther down into some of our higher level EMAs that we have set before continuing back up. We're seeing bullish momentum. It's just that we're on the wrong side of it at the moment. We're just waiting for it to start to go back up. And on the euro, the only thing that's against us right now from that thing just dropping is that the middle BB is pointing up. The clock angle of that is, about 2 o'clock.
That's it. So one of the things we do, guys, when we're trading Dynamic Edge, and this is a nugget for the actual Dynamic Edge traders who are on this call, is we look at the clock angle of this black line, otherwise known as the middle BB or middle Bollinger Band. And if it's pointing up and we're trying to sell, just know you're going to have to hold through some consolidation, which is what this is, where the market doesn't really know what it's doing. It's just kind of up and down, up and down. It's just indecision is what we call it. But we have gotten the hopper, which is what creates this arrow here. Now the hopper is this little blue line crossing down into the red here. So notice the numbers to the right. See 0.0000. That's kind of like a horizon. So I'll just put a little line there. See that? When we cross below that 0 level, that means that the market is moving into a bearish phase, and we are in an excellent position to make sells, which, as you can see, we're in profit now. I'm a little bit in profit now, so it's pretty good. There it goes. It's doing it.
Euro's looking good.
Yeah, Euro's doing its job.
And UJ's going to come back.
Yep. Okay. So when you're trading, one of the things we do is we wait. We learn to wait. Is trading exciting? No. If it's exciting, then you must be a new trader. Trading is supposed to be boring, and the profits are quite exciting, and what you can do with the money and so on. And it does feel good, but advanced traders, we don't really become emotional about it. So what we get used to doing is we get used to sitting and waiting for the market to move and do what we want it to do. Now, one of the big differences with Dynamic Edge is, from what most traders do, is it's actually a scalping strategy. And you're thinking, scalping? That doesn't sound very nice. Well, what scalping means is it means we take very, very, very short trades. So most of our trades are open for less than 10 minutes. So, and also the beauty of a scalping strategy is that you're going to get a lot of trade opportunities. Now, that is opposed to swing trading. Swing trading is something that, you'll wait sometimes days for a good trade opportunity. And you enter, and then you'll hold the trade sometimes for days. And that's what swing trading is. You can swing trade on a lower time frame, and sometimes, your trades are open for a few hours, right? And that would be swing trading on a 15-minute time frame, for example. But here on the lower time frames, we're able to make the same profits that a swing trader would make. And we use something called leverage. Now, some people think, oh, leverage, that means risk, right? Well, no, it doesn't. You just saw a bad trade there. And if you set your stop loss, you would probably would have seen what it did to your demo account. And if you did everything properly, and if you leverage properly, which is something you'll learn, it doesn't matter. Like taking 1 or 2 losses in a morning is normal. I had a great day today, and I think I took 2 losses, 2 wins, I think is what I did today. And I was positive. It was a good day because the losses are very small. The wins are big. So that is really important to kind of get those concepts about trading. So we use leverage to allow us to be able to take relatively small moves like this one here. We didn't sell this because we're waiting for the market to go up. It's currently uptrending, so we're looking to take buys because that's with trend. But sometimes, an advanced trader will take counter trend trades. In fact, we do it all the time. But let's just measure this move and see. That was 11 pips. 11 pips is a great move on a Forex pair. On USD JPY, it throws these moves at us all the time. Wonderful little moves. 11 pips, you get maybe 2 of those trades a day and you're good. You can hit your percentage goals. And we're talking about percentage goals that they're pretty life-changing if you leverage it properly and you do use proper risk management. We have a system called the Gates system, which I won't really go into too much detail about, but it really allows you to do well with a relatively small move. Okay, so we do have bullish divergence here. So I am expecting this to start turning around. Bullish divergence does not say it's going to turn around immediately. But what it does say is that the market is very likely, if it does reject this run of green candles and comes down further, it's probably going to come down and reject this purple line. And by divergence, what I'm talking about, guys, is I'm talking about a difference in trend. See this trend line? How this trend line has 1, 2, 3 touches to it. And it's indicating that the market is making lower lows. See how each low is lower than the previous? But here on this special indicator that we have, it's called the MACD. The market is making higher lows. So that's what divergence is. It's a disagreement between trend on the candles and trend on our special sauce indicator. And this indicator here has special settings. If you were to go ahead and try and throw a MACD on, a trading view chart or something, it wouldn't look like this one. This one's a little different. It's got some different settings. The math is a little bit different. That's very, very key to the Dynamic Edge strategy. All from the brilliant mind of Mr. James Leone, our great educator. Okay, so Euro USD. Chris, have we got anything else starting to set up here?
Euro USD is on its way down. But
Mhm.
yeah, that middle BB is pointing down now.
Yeah, it is too.
And it had a little bit of a wick there. One thing I just noticed on the Euro, you don't have it on your chart, but there's a Camarilla level there. And they've
Oh,
rejected off of that twice.
that's what's going
on
on.
the Euro, on the UJ.
On UJ. Okay.
Yeah. So that's where we should start to see that bullish divergence start to play out.
Okay.
And because we're just kind of hovering between pink and purple right now.
Mm-hmm.
If it kind of mucks around there in between pink and purple for much longer, it's just going to go into range.
Yeah.
And the Euro, yeah, I still think that we're going to see some. I think we're going to see it move down. We just had a little bit of a move up there, but
Yeah.
I still think we're going to at least come down to the 0.0826 level.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to at least test down to that level.
Yeah.
At this point.
Okay. 2.6. I'll put a line here.
Yeah.
1.08260 Alt H. There's our line.
Bands are really contracting though.
Yeah.
On the there you go. The UJ is set up nice. PSAR's not that great.
Mm-hmm.
Would it, if it were outside, I'd be a little bit more excited about that one.
Yeah.
But you will probably get a signal right on the next candle. Candle open, you should get a signal there.
Yep.
So you could take that up for a couple of pips.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to break out or do anything too exciting there.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the thing. Like, what you have to understand is that when we're doing our analysis, we have a very good idea of where things are going to go, but we have to wait for these confirmations to happen.
Yeah.
Right. And we may get in and it starts going the opposite direction, and we know exactly when to get out. And the strategy is really true to its name, being the dynamic edge, is that we have this edge of this strategy being so dynamic, because we could be looking at the euro being in a sell.
Okay, this is your buying opportunity now. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yep, that's okay. On UJ, yep.
Yeah. We've got a candle. We got 24 seconds left before this candle closes. So it is likely going to close above this black line.
Yep.
And should give us further movement here, especially since, see how this blue line here is starting to come up? It's about to hit the 0 level. If it goes up into the green here, up into this green area here, that is called a buy hopper. And buy hoppers are wonderful. Like, look at what happens every time we get a buy hopper.
There you go. There's your signal.
There's our signal.
Yep.
There we go.
Euro's looking the same way too.
Okay.
We've had a nice W there as well.
Mm-hmm.
In the euro. I don't think the euro's quite ready just yet, but there's PSAR outside, which is nice.
Yeah. Oh, very good. Very good. Yeah, it's not quite ready. It's trying to bully the arrow here. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, this is good. We now have a buy hopper. So we'll just go ahead and let USD JPY sit here. And so I hope everybody got in back on this candle here. Because if you did, you're in profit. There it goes. There it goes. Look what happens when you get those hoppers. It's crazy, isn't it? And Chris, I have a more basic form of the chart here. I don't have all the Camarilla lines, so warn me if we're coming up on a Camarilla level or anything that we may reject, so that we can get everybody out with their profits. I've got a few pips of profit now, both on both my Euro USD and my USD JPYF trades. I've got some profit now.
Yeah, UJ 128.516.
Okay.
And Euro, that one is 826.
Okay.
It's the Euro's faffing around. It's faffing around there a little bit.
I think I'm going to take UJ at 128.5.
Yep.
Just due to this structure here.
Yep, big round number.
Yeah.
Yep, very good. Yep, good call.
Okay, there, I got my take profit set up there.
You got a nice little run of color there too.
Yeah. Got some nice little green candles here. Now it is rangy, so it is possible that we may pull back. See, we've pulled back here, and the middle BB is pointing down. So we're going to let that trade just sit for a little bit, and we'll see if it does cross back below the mid BB. We'll close it. But what is happening? See how this black arrow is, this black line here is pointing down a little bit. That is an indication that the market is not quite ready to make the full move up. So this just means just be patient. Be patient and relax. Now, this market has been making lower highs. So it does look like we've broken out though. So that's a good sign. So this should go back up. Bands are tightening. See how these Bollinger Bands are coming in and tightening a bit? That means that there's not as many traders right now in the market, and that will cause it'll make it more difficult for price to keep moving. So it'll just tend to bounce up and down, kind of like it is in here. See how these bands are really tight in here, and see how the market's not really doing much. It kind of comes down a bit, then it goes back up, and then it goes down again. It kind of goes back up. So we are tightening. Hopefully we'll get some more movement here in the market.
Yeah, I'm looking at some other pairs as well.
Okay, great. Yeah. I really want to get people so far actually these pairs are not really performing as well. The pairs, UJ and EU have not really performed as well this evening as we usually do get in the evening. The time when I trade and actually make my money is in the morning. And there's always more activity in the morning, and these pairs will tend to trend very, very nicely in the morning. But it's this is a better time to do a demonstration for most people. So we'll take what the market gives us. So you can see how we came down. We had this little retest. See that wick there? That meant that when the price came down to this level, a whole bunch of buyers entered the market and pushed it back up again. So we'll let that do its thing. So that's UJ, and here's EU.
Dollar index has been climbing up, so it's gonna push those other ones down.
So those of you guys who are holding this EU trade are nicely in profit now. I've got 3 monitors going, guys. That's why I'm looking around so much here. Yeah, this is very nice now. This Euro USD is paying out very, very nicely right now. I've got some good profits. Now I'm going to go ahead and move my stop loss into profit, so that what I mean by stop loss into profit is that I entered up here a little bit late, and it kind of played around before it took off and dropped. Entered in a sell position. And so what I've done, I'm going to actually put a line here where my entry was. It was not a good entry. I was late. I would never taken this on my live account. I would have just let it go. But that was my entry right there for my sell. So what I've done now is I've taken and I've moved my stop loss here. So that what this means, the stop loss level for my broker is if the market comes back on me, the broker will exit my trade and I'll have all this profit in here because I entered here on a sell. So this means I've locked in. Let's see how many pips here. Probably about 1.6 pips. I've got that locked in. So and the market's continuing to tank. So I'm now going to move my stop loss down just to the top of this previous. Actually, really, it's not really worthy of being moved yet, but just above this previous candle here.
It's approaching that 826.
It is. There it is. There's our target. Okay, there. I've got my take profit set now in my broker. So we'll just watch this, and I hope some of you guys are in this right now, as this is a very good trade. We had bearish divergence. We had the hopper rejection. Just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm now going to move my stop loss down here. The market is starting to, looks like it's starting to lose. Well, maybe not. And we're almost to our target. And I'm going to take my whole position out here. Some people will actually take a partial profit here. They'll close half of their position. And I actually do cover that in the instructional video that the YouTube instructional video that came in the invite to this Zoom call. And that is my cat in the background if the mic's picking it up. He's a particularly whiny feline. He you'd think we don't feed him or something. Yeah, so you can see the market is now slowing down. See how the sizes of the candles have just gotten smaller and smaller and smaller. So there became basically a run. A whole bunch of guys decided, traders decided they all wanted to sell at the same time. And that forces the price down. So now what's happening here is buyers are starting to come back into the market again. And now as a trader, you really don't need to know that. You just need to know, well, so look at your indicators and be able to set your targets. And, you don't even need to know why the market goes down. You just need to look at your indicators and line everything up and obey the rules, and you'll make money.
Yeah, it reached that 826.
It did. It just wicked to it.
Yeah.
I don't quite have. Let's see if we can get it down here, and I'll just close it manually. Oh, here it goes. Here it goes.
There it goes.
There it goes.
UJ's heading up now too.
Oh yeah, I got some nice profits on UJ too. I wasn't even paying attention. Okay, I'm going to take profits now manually on Euro USD. I got about 5 pips out of that because I did enter late. So that is a very nice little trade, especially for this time of evening. It could keep going, but I'm happy with what I got. I got my pips in the bag. Now I'm going to start looking at UJ. So I hope some people have gotten something out of UJ here.
Throw it in the chat if you guys are catching pips.
And just ignore this little blue target line here. This is something that the algorithm does put in. It's there kind of like, I would say it's kind of like training wheels for newer people, and that's great. It does its job. But as you become a more advanced trader, you'll learn some other ways of setting a little bit more accurate targets. But if you did take the trade as a new person, you've already hit your target. But I think there probably are some more pips in this. So you can see we're already breaking above target. We still do have bearish divergence. I'm expecting it to push potentially up further here and become convergent. So we watch for divergence, guys. One of the things that James teaches us is always be checking ABC, always be checking. So, oh, look at that. We do have divergence, don't we? See? So divergence doesn't mean you exit the trade. It means that you monitor it very closely. And we have a couple of different ways we monitor. I mean, one of the things we look at is we look at price action. So if you see that each candle, the top of each candle is higher than the previous candle, then that's a very good sign that the market still has some more juice in it and it wants to keep going up. That's some more energy, right? But if you get a candle now that can't push above the previous candle, like right over here, look at this. See, nice move up. And then now you get this red candle and it rejects and it comes down and it closes down here. Then the next candle opens and it's so weak. It's a green candle. It's trying, but it cannot break above the level of this previous candle. That's an indication that your upward move is done. Okay, here we are coming up on our target for UJ. Target is hit. And there we are. I'm already out of the trade. It hit the take profit for me. And whoa, whoa.
Happy days. Happy days.
Look at that. That was unexpected, but that's okay.
Cheerio, chaps.
Tally ho, chaps. Are you still in it, Chris?
No, I pulled profits on Euro. UJ, I'm still in it.
Oh, you're still in UJ. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I set my take profit for here, but you had a take profit that was a little higher actually.
Yeah, it was the it was that one level of 128.5, a 148.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at it go.
But it's going.
I love it.
Yeah.
But I got my pips. I'm very happy with that.
Sheesh.
Oh, yes. I hope somebody's still in it. Drop it in the chat. I should pay more attention to the chat here. I've been looking at the charts so much. I'm not paying attention to the chat. Drop it in the chat. Drop your pips in the chat. And if there's anybody still in this, drop it in the chat. Let us know. All right, good times. Let's see how many pips this is so far from the signal. You should have entered here actually just before the signal because we actually enter when we cross the mid Bollinger Band. So 20 pips. Wow. 20 pips is a very, very good move for a Forex pair.
Huge.
Yeah. That's like shut the computer and go do something else because you got your pips for the day. That's like 200.
I'm done.
Oh yeah. That's like 200 pips on the NAS.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, what was your pip count for our NAS trading today, Chris?
236.
236 pips. Oh man. I think Chris is probably responsible for single-handedly putting the pip buffet out of business. He just keeps coming and loading his plate up with pips.
There's over 8 trillion pips out there.
Yeah, I don't feel too guilty about it myself either.
Noob.
That's the beauty of trading in this market because there's just so much money in it that we're you and I taking a few pips home and paying our bills, or whatever, buying whatever you need to out of your trading account is it's really what it's about, and this is how it's supposed to work. I love it,
sir. Yes, sir. I just wanted to add, Steve, for everybody that's on this call, did this come easy for us? Absolutely not. Was there times where we were frustrated? Absolutely. I'm surprised that my computer screens don't have bullet holes in them. It takes time. It takes patience.
Yeah.
This is about your mind learning this strategy. Like, these are just lines on a screen, guys. We can follow that. This is like connect the dots. But it's when you really put your mind, when you really hone in your skill and your mind of how this works, it's tough. It is really, really tough. But one day, over the course of, a couple days, a couple weeks, couple months, you're going to go, oh. And then the next day, you're going to go, oh, I want to kill somebody. And the next day, you go, oh. And another aha moment, and another aha moment. And it becomes easier and easier and easier every single time you get on. And when you get on with James with this strategy, your confidence level goes through the roof because he's looking at the chart. He's explaining things kind of how we are. And you're like, oh, I've seen that before. Oh, I can connect those dots. Like, it's not that difficult to learn the strategy.
Yes.
If James can do this, I'm telling you, I've had some personal conversations with James. If James can do this, anybody can do this. But it comes with a price. It comes with a price. And there are sacrifices and there are things that you have to work on yourself to be able to become successful. And I'll end with this. The human brain is one of the most amazing things in the universe.
Yeah.
Because you can reprogram it anytime you choose to. You have to choose to reprogram your brain. And when you choose to do that and you make that commitment, you will. You will reprogram your brain. And is it is it easy? Nope, it's not.
No.
But when you come out the other side, oh man, glorious.
Oh,
Absolute glorious.
yeah.
So if you've been in this for a while or you are just starting out, stick to it. Stick to it. Be consistent. Don't miss a session with James.
Yes.
Don't miss a session with James. Whether you're on the trading call with us in the morning, whatever, doesn't matter. Get on with James. Lean on him. He is our coach. When you go to soccer practice or football practice or baseball, you got a coach and you lean on him. And like Steve reached out and said, hey, like, I need some clarification. James was, sure, let's jump on. And he did. So lean on your coach.
Yes. While you're talking, I'm just going to show everybody James's classroom here. I mean, probably most people on the call have already seen this, but this is where we hear from James. And here's where we put our chats, and it's an amazing community. Really grateful for it. Boy, words of wisdom. Guys, listen to Chris. Those are words of wisdom. Take it seriously. Don't look at this as a hobby. I mean, you do anything you want, but if you want to actually make this skill has the potential to change your life financially, and also to change the lives probably of everyone around you financially as well. And knowing what we know now and knowing how powerful this is, it as people who've been doing this for a little bit, it sometimes causes me a little bit of pain when I just a little bit of emotional pain when I see somebody kind of just not really believing it's possible. But I mean, I remember being there myself, and no, nothing negative against anybody for that. It is a mindset. It's a big mindset shift, but take it seriously, please, because it deserves it. You deserve it. So anyway, wow, this has been a great evening. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. I see some people on the call. Jesse, good to have you with us. Joe and Alicia, our friends from down in Idaho. Joe and I were on the phone today, chatting, and it's great to have you with us, brother. Yeah, I wish I had time to shout everybody out here. This is great. Milena, Diana, Deborah, Dave, Anna, Alex, Rob, Chris. 2 Chris's on the call tonight. My buddy Chris Henders from the Unity Movement. Great to have you with us. Yeah, you're welcome, Elena. Glad to help. And Rob Scott, thank you very much for your kind comment. He says, thanks, Chris and Steve. Awesome analysis and instruction. Thanks, Quinn, for sharing your story. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down for the night. We got our pips. And if you're on the call and you've been kind of kicking tires and looking at this, dive right in, get back to the person who brought you on the call. This is, the Academy has done everything within their power to lower the bar for entry to this. And, it's compared to the going rate for trading education. This is cheap. This is really cheap. It's actually almost too cheap, because I found that some people just don't take it seriously. So it's almost like it should be in some ways, that, the $10,000 price tag that most trading courses are. And it's not even close. So we got a tremendous opportunity in front of us. Go do it. It's so fun. And to those of you guys who are already on the inside, just so glad to have you here. Oh, my buddy Joe's here, right? Yeah, Joe Seep, it's good to have you with us, man. All right, I'm going to go ahead and shut the call down, and everybody have a great evening. We'll see you guys in the morning.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate your help, my friend, and your wise words of wisdom. All right, good night, everyone.